Hi friends, I am Sunil working as bsnl JE. Welcome to bsnl JE 2016 exam preparation. In this video I am going to discuss network filters and transmission lines topics. First of all, two-port network. What is a network? Network is nothing but it is an interconnection of circuit elements. Network is nothing but interconnection of circuit elements. Coming to the two-port network, this is a two-port network. For this two-port network, there are mainly four variables: V1, I1, V2, I2. From source side, source side, V1 is a source voltage, I1 is a source current, or input voltage, input current. And from this load side or output side is V2 is output voltage or load voltage, I2 is output current or load current. So totally four variables, two voltages and two currents. In this two-port network, out of four variables, two variables are independent. The remaining two variables are dependent on the independent variables. That means for two-port network there are mainly four variables. Two variables are dependent, two variables are independent. Okay. And coming to the two-port network parameters. First of all, Z parameters. The Z parameters are also called as impedance parameters. Impedance parameters are also called as open circuit parameters. Z means impedance, so that's why these are also called as impedance parameters. And why these parameters are called open circuit parameters means to find out these Z parameters we have to open circuit either source side or load side, That's why these parameters are also called as open circuit parameters. Any network parameters can be described by the network equations. The network equations for this Z parameters are V1 equal to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2. For V2 equal to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2. This Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22 are Z parameters. These are Z parameters. In this Z parameters, I1, I2 are independent. And V1, V2 are dependent on this I1, I2. V1, V2 are dependent on this I1, I2. That means if I1, I2 varies, V1, V2 are also varies. So V1, V2 are dependents on I1, I2. So I1, I2 are independent. For this Z parameters, I1, I2 are independent. V1, V2 are dependent. These are very important for competitive bits. In case of Z parameters, which are dependent, which are independent. In this way, they will ask the questions. For Z parameters, V1, V2 are dependent, I1, I2 are independent. Okay. And to find out these parameters, I already said to find out this parameter, we have to open circuit either source side or load side, or either input side or output side. To find out these parameters, make either I1 or I2 is 0. Open circuit means current is 0. That is either I1 or I2 is 0. That is open circuit. First of all, if input side is open circuited, that means source side is open circuited. That is I1 equal to 0. If I1 equal to 0, substitute this I1 equal to 0 here. Here I1 equal to 0 means Z12 equal to V1 by I2. Here I1 equal to 0. This total value goes to 0. Then V1 equal to Z12 I2. Then Z12 equal to V1 by I2. V1 equal to Z12 I2. Then Z12 equal to V1 by I2. And from this second equation, if I1 equal to 0 means V2 equal to Z22 I2. Then Z22 equal to V2 by I2. And next one, make I2 equal to 0. That is output side equal to 0. Then if I2 equal to 0 means the value is 0. Z12 I2 value 0. Then V1 equal to Z11 I1. V2 equal to Z21 I1. From this, Z11 equal to V1 by I1, Z21 equal to V2 by I2. And finally, we can write Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22 values. Z22 values. In this way, we can find out Z parameters. And also for remembering is simple is Z means impedance. Impedance means voltage by current. We know that Z equal to V by I. Z equal to V by I. For Z11 means one for V voltage, next one for current. Just that means Z11 equal to V1 by I1. Z12 means 1 for voltage, 2 for current. That means V1 by I2. Z21, that is V2 by I1. Z22, both are 2. That means V2 by I2. In this way, we can easily remember the Z parameters. Z is nothing but Z equal to V by I. So for Z11 means both are ones. Z is V1 by I1. For Z12, V1 by I2. For Z21, V2 by I1. For Z22, V2 by I2. In this way, we can find out Z parameters. Okay. And next one, Y parameters. Next one, Y parameters. Y parameters. Y parameters are also called as short circuit parameters, are also called as admittance parameters. Admittance parameters are also, we can call these parameters short circuit admittance parameters. Short circuit admittance parameters. For these parameters, then this network can be described by the current equations. For this Y parameters, this network can be described by the current equations. But in case of Z parameters, those networks can be described by voltage equations. Here current equations. That means current equations means currents I1, I2 are dependent. V1, V2 are independent. And in these equations, the equations are I1 equal to Y11 V1, Y12 V2, I2 equal to Y21 V1 plus Y22 V2. That means V1, V2 are independent, I1, I2 are dependent in case of Y parameters. In case of Y parameters. Here Y parameters are nothing but Y11, Y12, Y21, Y22. To find out these Y parameters, we have to short circuit either source side or load side. Either source side or load side. That's why these are called short circuit parameters. Short circuit parameters. For the first of all, make source side voltage equal to 0. Short circuit means, we know that short circuit means voltage equal to 0. I already said in the first previous classes, basic electricity classes. For open circuit means current equal to 0. Short circuit means voltage equal to 0. First of all, input voltage or source voltage make equal to 0. This means if V1 equal to 0 means this part goes to 0. Then we can get Y12. Y12 equal to I1 by V2. I1 by V2. The next one, for V1 equal to 0 means this part, total part is 0. Then Y22 equal to I2 by V2. I2 by V2. For second side, that means load side or output side, make voltage equal to 0. That means short circuited at output side. Then we can get, if V2 equal to 0 means Y11 equal to I1 by V1 and Y21 equal to I2 by V1. In this way, we can get Y parameters. Or for remembrance, easy remembrance, we know that Y means admittance. That is nothing but Y equal to I by V. For this Y11 equal to I1 by V1. Y21 equal to I2 by V1. Y12 equal to I1 by V2. Y22 equal to I2 by V2. I2 by V2. In this way, we can also remember these Y parameters. Or we can also write down in the matrix form. Here I1, I2 are dependent. That is I1, I2 equal to Y11, Y12, Y21, Y22 and V1, V2. We can also write matrix equations for Z parameters also. That is V1, V2, Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22 and I1, I2. In this way also we can write For Z parameters also we can write V1, V2. Next one parameters Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22. Here I1, I2 independent. Okay, in this way also we can write. And next parameters, transmission parameters. These are very important. Transmission line parameters are transmission parameters. For these equations are V1 equal to AV2 minus BI2, I1 equal to CV2 minus DI2. Here minus is not for parameters. Minus sign is not for parameters. Minus means it is direction of current. So that's why we can write this V1 I1 equations in this way. V1 equal to AV2 plus BI2 and I1 equal to CV2 plus DI2. That means here V2 I2. That means output side parameters are independent and input side parameters are dependent. V2 I2. Here V2 I2 are independent. V1 I1 are dependent. Just correct it. V1 I1 are independent. Why? Because independent V1 I1 are dependent on V2 I2. So these are dependent only. Okay. Please correct it. V1 I1 are dependent. Okay. And for this finding this transmission parameters, we have to make only load side or only output side. First of all, open circuit, and next short circuit. First of all, when we open circuit at output side, we can get A and C values. If we make short circuit at output side, we can get B and D value. If open circuit at output side, that means open circuit means current equal to 0. If I2 equal to 0, we can get A equal to V1 by V2. And here I2 equal to 0, C equal to I1 by V2. If we make short circuit at output side, V2 equal to 0 means, here V2 equal to 0 means B equal to V1 by I2. There is no need of write down the sign value, because sign is only for direction. Okay, neglect that sign value. Okay, that is next to D. For D equal to for here make V2 equal to 0 means D equal to I1 by I2. Here A is V1 by V2 and D is I1 by I2. That means here both numerator and denominator are in the voltage values. Here both numerator and denominators are current values. That means A and D have no units. And the remaining B and C have units. Why? Because it is a V by I means impedance. I by V means admittance. For impedance, the units are ohms. For admittance, the units are mhos. 1 by ohm, that is nothing but mhos. So A is also called as open circuit. Current 0 means open circuit. Open circuit reverse voltage gain. So A is also called as open circuit reverse gain. And here B V1 by I2 means V by I means impedance. So it is and it is short circuit. So short circuit impedance. B is short circuit impedance. And C is open circuit admittance. And D is short circuit reverse current gain. Main important bits are these four are main important bits, and A and C has no units. A and C has no, it's wrong. A and D has no units. Please correct this. Okay, A and D has no units, and B and C has units. For B, the units are ohms. For C, units are mhos. Okay. And next parameters, hybrid parameters. The network equations for this hybrid parameters are V1 I2 are dependent, I1 V2 are independent. That is V1 equal to H11 I1 plus H12 I2, H12 V2, I2 equal to H21 I1 plus H22 V2. Here h11, h12, h21, h22 are h parameters. For this, to find out the h parameters, make source side or input side open circuit. First of all, make I1 equal to 0 and make I2 equal to, make V2 equal to 0. That means short circuit at load side. Then we can get the values, h parameters value. H12 equal to, for I1, make I1 equal to 0 means h12 equal to V1 by V2. In this way we can find out the h parameter values, h parameters values. And for z parameters, I1 equal to G11 V1 plus G12 I2, V2 equal to G21 V1 plus G22 I2, G22 I2. Here I1 V2 are dependent, I1 V2 are dependent on V1 I2. So V1 I2 are independent, V1 I2 are dependent. For this find outing this G parameters, source side or load side open circuit first of all, open circuit load side first of all, then we can get G11, G21, that means I2 equal to 0, G11, G21. Next to source side voltage, that voltage equal to 0, that means short circuit at source side, then we can get G12, G22. These are the Z parameters values, Z parameters values. And next very important topic, condition for symmetry and condition for reciprocity. Condition for symmetry and condition for reciprocity. There is a chance of question will come this topic. Very important topics, the condition for symmetry and condition for reciprocity. Condition for symmetry, for in case of Z parameters, in case of Z parameters, what is the condition for symmetry? It is nothing but Z11 equal to Z22. For reciprocity, Z12 equal to Z21, Z12 equal to Z21. For Y parameters, Y11 equal to Y22. Condition for reciprocity, Y12 equal to Y21. For ABCD parameters, condition for symmetry is A equal to D. For reciprocity, AD minus BC equal to 1. For H parameters, delta H equal to 1, that is H11, H22 minus H12, H21 equal to 1. And condition for reciprocity, H12 equal to minus H21. For H and G parameters, condition for, in case of condition for reciprocity, minus sign will come, but in case of Z and Y, there is no minus sign. And just these lines are our remembrance only. Okay. For G parameters, delta G equal to 1, that is G11 G22 minus G12 into G21 equal to 1, it is delta G equal to 1. For G12 equal to minus G21 for in case of reciprocity. These are very important. These are very important. And next one, interrelation of parameters. Interrelation of parameters. That means Z equal to Y inverse. Both are inverse. Z equal to Y inverse. We know that Z equal to 1 by Y. So Z equal to Y inverse, Y equal to Z inverse. In the form of matrix. Inverse means in the form of matrix. And H equal to G inverse and G equal to H inverse. G equal to H inverse. And interconversion of parameters. Interconversion of parameters. Already we know that from Z to Y or Y to Z, we know that from Z to Y, Z equal to Y inverse. Z equal to Y inverse. If we want to convert Y parameters into Z parameters, we know that Y equal to Z inverse. Y equal to Z inverse. That is here Z parameters in terms of Y parameters. Z equal to Y inverse. That is Y inverse means 1 by delta Y into D minus. We know that inverse. What is the inverse formula? If ABCD is a matrix, the inverse is 1 by AD minus BC D minus B minus C A. This is the inverse of matrix. Then Z equal to Y inverse means 1 by AD minus BC. AD minus BC means delta Y. Delta Y is nothing but AD minus BC. That is Y11 Y22 minus Y12 into Y21 and D minus B minus CA. In this way we can find out Z parameters in case of Y parameters. In the same way, Y parameters in case of Z parameters, that is Y11 Y12 Y21 Y22 equal to 1 by delta Z into Z22 minus Z12 by Z22 minus Z12 minus Z21 Z11. That is D minus B minus C A. In this way also you can find out. And one more importance are H parameters in case of in terms of Z parameters, and H parameters in terms of Y parameters. A parameters, A means transmission line parameters in terms of Z parameters, and transmission line parameters in terms of Y parameters. For this, H parameters in case of Z parameters means H11 equal to delta Z by Z22, H12 equal to Z12 by Z22, H21 equal to minus Z21 by Z22, H22 equal to 1 by Z22. For H parameters in case of in terms of Y parameters means it is the reverse of this Z parameters. That is here H11 equal to 1 by Y11, H12 equal to minus Y12 by Y11, H21 equal to Y21 by Y11, and for H22 equal to in this Z delta Y by Y1. These are mainly in the reverse format. Okay, and coming to this Z parameters, A parameters in case of Z parameters, A equal to Z11 by Z21, and B equal to delta Z by Z21, C equal to 1 by Z21, D equal to 1 by Z22 by Z21. Here for H parameters, for Z parameters, all the denominators are mainly depends on Z22. For H parameters in case of Y parameters, all the denominators are Y11. In case of A parameters, in terms of Z parameters, all the denominators are Z21 only. Only numerators are changes. In case of A parameters, all the denominators are same. That is Y21, and only numerators are changes. That is A equal to minus 2 Y22 by Y21, B equal to minus 1 by Y21, C equal to minus delta Y by Y21, D equal to minus Y11 by Y21. Okay, these are the interconversion of parameters. Okay friends, thank you and all the best. Next video I will discuss attenuators and filters. Okay, all the best. Thank you.